may or may not have heard of coffee enemas before, but if you have, you probably wondered, I'm going to put what, where? How does this work? So that is exactly why I wanted to make a video for you to share a little bit more about what coffee enemas are, why you might want to use them, and the process to kind of demystify the process, if you will, on how to perform a coffee enema, how often, all the things. So if you want to stick around, I'm going to share a obviously non-graphic version of how you perform a coffee enema. Let's do it. Okay. Coffee enemas. Yes, it is an enema and there is coffee involved. So how in the world and why would you want to put coffee in your colon? So coffee enemas are something that have probably gained more popularity in the last few years, I would say, like more mainstream. But coffee enemas are a long-time detoxification practice that a lot of people, more so in the holistic and alternative medicine world, I guess you could say, have been doing, because they are incredible for detox purposes, but specifically for your liver. Coffee enemas are specifically supportive to your liver function because when you put the coffee up in the colon, it stimulates glutathione production, which is a master antioxidant, and it can really help your body to be able to just detoxify better. In a better way, in a more efficient way. It can just basically aid in what your body is already trying to do. And a lot of times this is a practice that is coupled with some sort of protocol that you might be on that, you want to aid your body in helping it do what it's already trying to do. It just enhances as we start to detoxify from some of these built up toxins, which is a really important part in healing of a lot of people's journeys. And then sometimes you might just do them routinely, even after you're done with the protocol. This is something that can be done more intensely at times and then less at other times. So let's talk about how it's used as far as or why it's used, I guess, per se. I mentioned that it's for detoxification. Some people think that this is just a problem solver for their constipation because obviously it's an enema and some poop is going to come out with what we're putting in our colon. And yes, that is true, but yet this is not a solution for your constipation. In fact, if you are constipated and you do have more filling up your colon, you're not going to be able to do a coffee enema really effectively. So I have a solution there for you if you tend to be more constipated, but this is definitely not something that you should do. I would say outside of working with a practitioner for the long term. I think this is definitely something that should be done whenever you work with a practitioner, because if your detoxification pathways are not open and you go try to start stirring up everything and you can't really get it out efficiently, that can cause more problems. So I just want to mention that, and the recipe that I'm going to show you, this is something that is specific to me. And whenever I do work with patients that I work with one-on-one or in my group program, I'm going to give them specific instructions on when to start these and what to put in that might be, different from this or different than just coffee that you may have heard of putting in the coffee enema, right? There's add-ins that you can put in to make it work a little bit better. So I just want to state that as well. So the coffee in the colon can really help to increase your glutathione production and help your liver out, because our liver does need help. It gets overloaded a lot. A lot of symptoms can come from that. And it just, again, aids in your body being able to detox a little bit better. So those are some reasons why you might want to do a coffee enema. So I know for a lot of people, it seems like a lot, right, to do a coffee enema. And I totally get it. But I want to just walk you through the process and some things that you'll need to gather if you have no idea how this process works and you've never done a coffee enema. I'm going to give you links, so make sure that you look down below this video because there will be links. And a lot of the process I'm going to try to show you, but I'm going to also write it out in a blog post. So I'm going to include that blog post underneath in the description of this video so that you can go there to get a lot more in-depth information and links and all the things. So just know that they go together. Okay, so what are you going to need to do a coffee enema? Well, you're going to need coffee, but this coffee is not the same coffee that you would drink. For a couple of different reasons, but this coffee is not dark in color. It's actually a blonde or golden roast coffee. So this is the coffee that I like to use, and it's a pretty popular brand. This is what the bag looks like. It's organic. It's from S.A. Wilson's, and it's a gold roast, as I mentioned. So if you were to put nothing but the coffee and the water together and brew it, it's going to be a light golden and sometimes a little bit of a greenish color. So this is what the coffee looks like. Again, I'm going to link that below in the description of this video. So you're going to need coffee. And of course, you're going to need something to put the coffee in and a tube to insert in yourself to put the coffee in your colon. So this is what I like to use. It's a coffee enema bucket. It's from Aussie Health Company. And I'm going to link that below as well. What I really like about coffee enemas is, you buy this one time, obviously you can use the same tool as far as this goes. You're going to have to clean it, of course, but you can use this coffee. It lasts a while, right? This is a pretty cost-effective way to really get a lot of benefits. So I love that. So I'm going to link these below, but you have the bucket. So you were going to put your coffee in this bucket, and then you're going to let it drain in the tube. And let me put this tip back on. I had cleaned it. And then this is what the end of the tip looks like. So this is what is going to be inserted in your buttocks. So I know that's kind of odd, and you're like, oh, this is weird. It is what it is, right? We're gonna be big girls and boys, and just, you might giggle about it, but that's just how it works. Okay, so these are the things that you need, like basic things. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the process as much as I can, obviously, just by telling you how you would go about doing this. And I'm going to put more detailed information in the blog post, step by step, and also measurements and things. So you're going to brew your coffee. Again, I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions in the blog post about how to do that. You just simply add some coffee to the water. You can either do each time you want to do a coffee enema, you can brew the coffee, or you can do what's called a concentrate. You can brew it like once a week if you want to do it 3 or 4 times a week. And then you can add so much of the concentrate to the water, and then you have your coffee enema. So I like to do it like that so I don't have to brew it every time, but you can do it however you want to. So you'll need the coffee brewed. And then there's some add-ins that tend to enhance the process and also help you to be able to hold the coffee enema, because whenever we put the coffee in our colon, it's really best to hold it for 15 minutes. Now that might sound like a really long time, and it might be something that you have to work up to. There's a lot of factors to determine, if you're going to have an easy time holding it for 15 minutes or if you're going to have a hard time. Sometimes if you get air bubbles in this tube, that can really cause some discomfort. If you tend to be more constipated, that can cause you not to be able to hold it. So I'm going to share a little bit more about that in a minute, but here are some add-ins that really enhance the coffee enema. I like to put 2 drops of tangerine in my coffee mixture because this enhances detoxification and it makes it smell a little bit better. I also like to put some hydroxygen, which is from Cellcore. It supports energy and detox. And so it's just a really good addition to this coffee enema. And I put 2 to 3 drops. This you can only get with working with a practitioner. Of course, I work with my clients through Cellcore in one-on-one setting and in group program, but I also work with clients just through Cellcore. So if you don't have a practitioner that you're working with, I can help you to be able to get some of these products as far as the Cellcore goes. So those are some things that I like to add in. Another thing that I actually ran out of, but could be really helpful if you maybe do one of these and you're like, gosh, I couldn't hold it very long. Randomly enough, molasses will help you to be able to hold the coffee enema in you a little bit longer. So if you're having problems with that, you could add 1 or 2 tablespoons to your coffee mixture. The only thing it'll do really is just to turn it dark, but it just helps you to be able to hold the coffee enema a little bit longer. So I'm going to include all the links for this below, all the things that I've mentioned, and then also more details in the blog post. So once you have your mixture, you're going to want to go to the bathroom and take your mixture because you're going to put your mixture in this coffee enema bucket. And one thing you want to make sure of, if you do this in the kitchen and you have your coffee in here before you go to the bathroom, or whether you have this in the bathroom and then you take the coffee mixture to the bathroom and pour it in, you're going to want to make sure that this clamp is shut. So it kind of clicks, because you don't want the coffee to kind of come out the end of your enema tube and go all over the bathroom floor or the kitchen floor or whatever it might be. So make sure that this is clamped down pretty tight. You can clamp it at different levels. Okay, so you have your coffee in this bucket. So the general setup in your bathroom is going to be more than likely by your bathtub, is what most people tend to do. That's what I tend to do. I just put a towel down on the floor, and that's just for any mess that might occur with leakage out of here or any, you get the picture. You don't want to be cleaning that up. So you just put a towel down and everything's good with that. And then I like to have a few more towels stacked up so I can rest my head, because you're going to be laying on your right side. And so you might want to lay your head down. It just can kind of get kind of uncomfortable if you try to hold your head up for that long while you're on the floor. So I like to have a few towels or a pillow that I can lay my head on. So you're on the bathroom floor. You have the towels down, and then whatever you want for your head, you got your setup going. So with this enema bucket, you can either, if you have like a towel hook, you can hook this on the towel hook, because the thing is, you have to get a little bit of height on this so that gravity will take the coffee down into this tube. So that's something that you want to think about your setup, what is going to be best for that. Another thing that you want to think of before you get started is that you want the entire tube to be filled with coffee, because if air gets in this tube, that can cause some discomfort. So whenever you're ready to do your coffee enema, you just want to, before you hang it up, you're going to want to just kind of tip the bucket over. And again, with the clamp down, make sure that you get coffee all the way in this tube and that there's no air in there. So sometimes you have to kind of hold it up and kind of maneuver it, but you want to make sure that there's coffee filling the whole entire enema tube. So then you can put your bucket on the hook, or you can even sit it on the side of your bathtub. Sometimes that's enough height to make sure that it drains properly. So once you have all of that going, then you lay down on your side, and you will probably, some people do and some people don't, add a little bit of lubricant to this so it's easier to insert. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. It just depends. But for ease and comfort, you might want to do that. So you could just put a little bit of coconut oil or something else that is like a lubricant on the end of this. And so you're just going to gently insert it into your rectum, and you are going to then undo this clamp. And so once you undo the clamp, it's going to begin filling your colon. And if you need to stop it for any reason, obviously you just put the clamp back on. But you want to try to get most of the liquid in your colon and then hold it for 15 minutes. So without spending so much time explaining this, I think that gives you a good idea about how this is done. I'm going to answer a few more questions and give you a few more tips in this blog post, as to just keep this video a little bit shorter. But that's the gist of how you do a coffee enema. And I just want to say, it doesn't have to be as overwhelming as you think it's going to be. This process might seem like, well, gosh, that takes a long time, because obviously when you're done, you have to clean it and all that good stuff. But you just kind of get used to it. And what I like to do is, definitely on the weekends, I will, like on Sundays. It's just a Sabbath for me, and I'm usually always at home. And so every Sunday I make sure to do a coffee enema, just because I just have obviously more time, and it's just a more relaxing time, and it's just kind of like a self-care detox Sunday, I guess you could say. But just try to find 2 to 3 days a week starting off that you could fit one of these in your schedule. And then I think that you'll find this process will be a lot less overwhelming than you think, and you'll just get used to it. Obviously, it's new and different, so have an open mind about starting to do coffee enemas. But I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised with the amount of energy that you get from doing this, because you are stimulating that liver, and it'll be amazing. I promise. You'll see a difference with that, and it will really begin to help your body to be able to work properly. And some of the issues that you've been feeling, especially hormonal issues, tend to really get a lot better when you start loving on your liver a little bit more. And so this is a great way that you can do that. And obviously it does help with digestion. I mentioned it not being a solution for your constipation, but it will allow your body to release more bile, which will then help with digestion. So that's what I meant by don't just do it when you're constipated, right? You should actually do it when you're not constipated because you'll get more results from it. But overall, it helps with so many different things related to your health. So check out my blog post. It's going to have a lot more just FAQ. It's going to have recipes and links and all that good stuff. And so it'll be in the description of this video. So let me know if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I put out what I think is great content every single Wednesday. No, really, I try to just listen to what my clients are giving me feedback on so that I can make these videos really relevant to women, right? Everyday issues that you're having, I try to answer questions around those, or just an interesting topic that I feel like you would benefit from. So come back every Wednesday and see what new topic I have out for you, and share this video if you know of somebody that you guys have talked about coffee enemas before, but maybe neither one of you knew what was up with them. Share this video, and hopefully it will demystify the coffee enema, and that might be something that you guys want to try. So, all right, thank you so much for joining on this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.